Today we're going to look a little bit at conditional expressions, if and else if statements. So again, if you're going along in the book, this is on page 59. And the first thing I'm going to do here is remove everything in the environment because I still have this left up from last time. Every time I do this, I have to remember. I think I'm finally starting to get this. Removed it. All right. So this is an if statement, and so the way that I'm going to start this, the way that he starts this, I'll do this the same way, is to put something into A. So this is what we'll test against. And if A is greater than 2, and then we'll start with the bracket, and RStudio works pretty nicely for indenting and keeping track of each step of an if and an else. So you can see it already indented it. The indent isn't actually necessary though to make it function properly. So I had to look up a little bit about the cat statement, and you can see here that the default is the file equal ... So it's like a print statement that it could print it to a file, and if that file is the default like this, then it prints it to the screen, and it outputs it as a null, which I may comment on later, but that's something that affected I think it's the else if. So this is what it will print to the screen if it's greater than 2, which it actually is not. And then within the cat statement, the \n will just put it on a new line. And I'm going to go after the bracket because that'll close what happens if A is greater than 2. Else, something else will happen. And that something else is it's going to print to the screen A is not greater than 2. And then we'll put a new line at the end of that. So then we'll go after that. And now I'll run each of these one at a time. So we'll create 2, then we'll test the if. And we encountered this before, that it's expecting more, and we are expecting to do more, so we'll just keep on going all the way through. And it ran the if statement, and it went to the else. A is not greater than 2, and that's the end of it. I think this also worked just to run the whole thing at once, so I'm going to try this. So I did a control enter and ran the whole thing, and that one did work. So we'll move on to the next one, which is a little bit more complicated, but not actually too much. It just has an extra embedded else if statement. So this time we're going to put B, and we're going to put a value car into B. And if B equals automobile, which since we have it there in front of us, we know it doesn't, but we'll still let it test it. Here's our open bracket, and if it does equal that, then the cat's going to tell it to print to the screen B is automobile, and then our \n will give us a new line. I'm going to go after the bracket and do an else if, and this lets us embed another if B equals car. We have to have a new set of brackets. It is cat, so then cat will put to the screen B is car. new line after the bracket, else, so this is the very last one, that regardless if none of those are true, our open bracket we'll put to the screen B is neither, small bracket, single quote, automobile, nor car. And then we'll close our quote, and that is all of it. So first thing is I'm going to go line by line, puts car in there, if, and let's see what's output. B is car. Okay, just because I want to see B is already in there, if it can run the if statement all at once just in a script file, I'm going to run it, and it does. So no problem. So the next thing for us to do is to do one of the exercise boxes, but I will stop right there.